Waiting for the big reveal here, Boydie.
Oh, that looks nice. I like that.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Our first bit of merch for the show.
Wowzers.
Woohoo!
So today's podcast is brought to you by the DayZ podcast, Wake Up with the Podcast mug. So you can either tune in and watch us live, or if you're waking up in the morning and watching the video after I've finally gotten around to uploading it, you can have a nice hot mug of Joe, brew, whatever you want to put in there. Whiskey, fucking coffee, tea, heroin. I don't care what the fuck you put in there. Everything made will go to. I'm going to make more of them. There'll be a smaller one. There'll be a magic mug where the logo slowly, sexily reveals itself, and all that other sort of good stuff in there, folks. So please jump on board. It all goes a long way to helping support us on the show, because I would love to start doing giveaways. Watch this space. We may actually have something to give away next week when we have Sumrak. But enough of this. Let's talk about our man of the hour. Well, firstly, Brim, Ben, thank you once again for joining us on the show, mate.
Pleasure as always.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
And Kegan, you're back again for round 2, mate.
Yeah.
Updating us on the Battle Royale mod, which has been getting a bit of attention this week. I saw Don Sibley, who may still be in chat, was playing on your server and absolutely fucking loving it, mate, and bigging it up and getting some other streamers on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun having him on. He brought a lot of players. We got a lot of testing done. And it helped kind of conclude that the mod is just about ready to go for launch. We have a few minor issues that occur every few rounds, so it's obviously not flawless, but I mean, it's as playable as it's going to be for the next few weeks.
Yep.
And so we're basically ready to start doing the beta launch. That'll be processing all those beta invites that we've had people doing now for the last few weeks.
Now, if you've got a link, could you post it in chat? I know I retweeted it as well this week on Twitter, so that people who are interested in getting in and being part of the beta testing process, they know where to go to register.
Yes, so there we go. So on the website, they can click the little sign up for beta button, and that'll direct them straight to Steam, where they just sign in with their Steam account. And as soon as they sign in with Steam, they're signed up.
Yep.
Another thing they can do is join our Discord and link that Discord account to their sign up. And that'll just make sure they get a Discord message whenever they're accepted.
Did you see what 007 Jet just wrote in chat? I think he's looking at the little computer in the background there with the toy truck on it.
Yep.
Top of the line hardware, folks. Top of the line hardware. So how has it progressed, mate? How is it going?
It's going really well.
So break it down for us. What's the actual event going to involve?
So the launch is going to involve processing beta invites. We're going to do starting off at 10 a day. So 10 new people will get access every day. It's not much, but we'll be running one match with admins every single day as well. And that time, that'll change based on when we can get the most players on. But after we've gotten through all of the beta invites, we'll then launch the game. And gameplay, for those that haven't seen any videos or content created for it yet, is you load up to the main menu and you click the play button. You're going to enter matchmaking, which will find the most available server to you. So what that means, at least at first, is it's going to put you in whatever server has the most players.
So where are the servers located? Whereabouts in the world?
Right now, we only have 2 servers in North America. As those servers get filled, we're going to expand out. We're going to start with Australia, and we'll get 2 servers there. And then we're going to finish by adding 2 servers into the EU. And that, if we need more than 6 servers after that, we'll just start adding them wherever the demand is.
Yep.
And as a player, you'll be able to select which region you want to matchmake into. You can say, okay, I don't care if I'm playing in North America. I just want to be with the most players. Or
Yep.
you can say, no, I'd much rather have a decent ping and less players. So I'm going to queue in, Australia. You'll have those choices. Of course, that's down the line, but it's already ready to be implemented. All that's done. So once you're in a match, you'll sit there for a little bit. You'll wait till the server fills up with players. Once it's filled with enough players, it'll start the match. You'll be teleported to a random position across Chernarus, and it'll count down. You'll start the match. Go find some loot. The circle will appear. You'll be able to check it on your map, which you don't need the item for. And then you just play normal Battle Royale.
Do you need
stay inside
food,
the circle.
water?
No, not at first. It's something I want to do, is make it so you'll need at least one piece of food and one drink. But getting that balance just right is not something that I really have time to be doing right now.
Yep.
So for now, you don't need any of that. All you need to find is a gun and ammo. There's armor, plate carrier. Plate carrier is kind of broken, actually. You can get a whole mag of AK ammo put into you and you won't drop dead. So the plate carrier may need nerfed a bit, but at least at first, that's all that content that's going to be available. We're planning to do heli crashes, airdrops, red zone. All that's going to be added over time through closed beta and these beta invites. So yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. We're just about ready to launch. The only real concern now is, can we monetize our servers? And with this strategy of being able to launch them and add them to matchmaking when the players demand more servers, when there's more players. That's something I have to work with Bohemia to ensure that we can do.
Now, what happened there? Because when I reached out to you about coming on tonight to update us on the progress of the Battle Royale, you said you'd love to, but you want to talk about the monetization issue. And Ben actually made a comment when he saw you were coming on about how he could monetize his server with skins and things like that, because as long as the monetization rule is basically it can't be for things that affect gameplay. It can only be for purely cosmetic or things like whitelist access or priority access queues, things like that, which is understandable. But what was your model? Were you proposing pay to win style things where you get better gear, or what was your monetization aspect going to be?
Okay, so there's two things that I have issue with. The main concern is when more players join Battle Royale, and we have all of our servers currently being played on, and we have another 60, 70 people waiting in matchmaking queue. I want to be able to start up a new server in a new region and immediately have players playing on those servers. The issue that I would run into in that scenario is Bohemia requires that every server go through the same monetization application. So I would have to fill out this application and wait for Bohemia to approve it for every new server that I launch. So those players, instead of getting a server, after 15 minutes of waiting in queue, they're going to have to wait the whole hour for one of those matches to end before they can play. And that'll be that way until 3 days, a week later, when Bohemia approves my monetization. And by then, how many people have sat in a queue for an hour long waiting for a match and gotten bored and decided to leave DayZ BR? That's my issue. I don't want players to be sitting in a queue for hours on end just to play 10 minutes of a match and die towards the beginning, and then have to do it all over again, wait in the queue another hour. And Bohemia, when I emailed them, it seemed like they completely ignored that question on my email. They just reiterated exactly what it is that their policy is, that you have to submit the IP for every server. So from my perspective, I felt like they were saying, hey, we don't really care about your situation. You're going to have to follow our policy to a T, and we're not going to work with you on it at all. So that's issue number one. Issue number two is with the what determines whether or not a skin is beneficial, right? Our initial cosmetic t-shirt gear, right, none of it's camouflage, none of it's green. So I know that all of that would be perfectly fine. My concern doesn't really lie with that, because t-shirt itself is not going to be the best geared item that you'll be able to find in BR. But my concern lies mostly with weapon skin, right? If I'm wearing an all red jumpsuit at the start of the match, I find an M4 and I skin it slightly camouflaged, all of a sudden, is that against BI's monetization policy? The guy's still wearing all red, so does the gun skin itself really make a difference? And my concern is that for every skin that I want to add, I'm going to have to go to Bohemia and say, hey, are you going to penalize me because I added this skin? Because if I add that skin, people go to the web store, they buy it because they like it, and then Bohemia comes and says, hey, no, you can't sell that skin. Do I just have to refund however many people bought it? This is another question that Bohemia has not helped me answer. They just kind of reiterated exactly what it is that their policy states, that they can't be beneficial. And in a normal DayZ server scenario, right, if you find an M4, it's going to be kind of rare. So being able to skin it a camouflage color might make a bit of a difference. But in DayZ BR, it's not that rare to find high quality loot. So the same policy of, hey, if something's camouflaged, isn't as beneficial in DayZ BR as it is in a hardcore DayZ server. And this is something that their monetization policy just doesn't have any kind of fundamental groundwork to
and it kind of sounds like as well that with the model of the game, it's I think you were saying it's around about 40 or so minutes per game is the target sort of thing. So yes, there's going to be a little bit of sneaky peeky and all the rest of it, but as we see with a lot of other games out there where people have skins that they can buy for, a lot of people don't really care about the going for the camo sort of skins. You know, you'd probably find some of the most popular ones would be the glitzy and the in your face ones, which people seem, I don't know, maybe you do a blue waffle skin for all I know. And you probably find people who play on blue waffle servers go, fuck yeah, I want a blue waffle. I want to rep my blue waffle bloody stuff on there. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. It sounds to me like they're struggling to understand the business model. Well, how are you taking it, Brim?
Yeah, I don't think there should really be a huge issue with it when it comes to skins. I mean, at the end of the day, it's it's pixels on a screen, isn't it? It's not. I can understand if if someone's paying out extra, getting a really good ghillie that hides them perfectly and gives them an advantage. But like you said there, Boydie, most people aren't going to go for those. I mean, you'll get the people that are smart and know what's going to work in the meta and will play for that. But 90% of people, and I put myself in that category, are going to look at a skin and go, oh, I like the look of that. That looks like something I like. And that might be bright, hot pink with flowers and whatever else on it. So I think most people will gravitate towards what they want. It just seems like Bohemia need to be a little bit more transparent, a little bit more helpful with what they're doing, with what their protocol is on this sort of thing. But at the same time, I think it's difficult because I think this is a sort of a one-of-a-kind project that we've never sort of really seen before. It's never really come up before. So
we've never seen nothing of this scale, yeah.
No, exactly. I think it's going to be a learning curve, not just for Kegan, but for Bohemia as well, to try and if Kegan and Bohemia can work together to get something hashed out, then that'll open the door for a lot more stuff down the line to help out.
Ben, were you listening in then while you walked away?
Sorry, mate. No, I had to go and answer the front door, but what did I miss?
So, if you just want to recap the second issue.
Yeah, it was the second issue.
Yeah, so the second issue is whether or not the same kind of beneficial policy for skins applies with BR as for a hardcore survival DayZ experience. Because BR is going to be, like you guys have mentioned, it's going to be more flashy, these skins. It's not going to be, it's going to be something that you're going to be interacting with a lot more people with. So most people are going to want flashier skins. But on top of that, that camo gear that someone might spend hours trying to get in a DayZ server is going to take you 5 minutes in BR, if that. So how beneficial is a camo M4 in BR versus a camo M4 in a hardcore DayZ server?
Ben, how have you handled monetization with your service?
Okay, so I have spawning gear which people can choose to purchase. Offers no benefits in terms of inventory size or protection. So it's visual. Theoretically, yeah, like what Kegan's just touched on, under what I've got set up currently, you could theoretically set up some spawning gear to be completely camo. Now I only allow the same spawning gear that everybody else is getting, so it's a tactical shirt and a pair of pants. You normally spawn in blue gear. So theoretically, I suppose you could purchase camo gear, and you might say that gives you more of an advantage over somebody not in camo gear. And then the other thing I have is players can purchase like all kinds of like gear they want, bags, all that kind of stuff, in camo or whatever they want. That's only available from traders, and every player on the server can buy it for the same price that they could buy any other piece of gear from the trader that's clothing.
Does that make any sense to you, Kegan?
Yeah, it makes sense. It just doesn't. It's something that's just about how we would do it with BR. But the email that I got from Bohemia didn't really clarify what rules I have to follow. And with BR, if I get penalized, the official servers get penalized severely, I'm going to take a pretty big hit. Because BR's private servers are not the highlight of the mod.
What you've got, Kegan, to me sounds like it's going to be a pretty popular game mode. I don't know what the rest of you guys watching and the rest of the guys on the panel tonight think, but there's potential for this to get quite big, because it's going to be probably one of the best things since the Survivor games. And I'm not talking about the Survivor games mod that we discussed last week, but for people to play, for like we say, for a lot of people with DayZ, jumping on for, you might have an hour free. DayZ's not really the sort of game that you can get a good experience in just an hour. You need a bit more time to invest in it. Whereas just being able to jump, I've got an hour free, I'll jump in and I'll play a quick round of BR. So I don't want to put the moxer on you or anything like that, but I get the feeling this could be damn bloody popular. And my advice to you, mate, is I really think you need to get some legal advice. Get someone to maybe not even legal advice, but maybe reach out to someone like Brian Hicks, who he's had business dealings, not just as the lead developer of DayZ, but he sold Survivor games to them. So he's got an understanding of creating a product and selling it to them. And he might be able to give you, from every dealing I've had with Brian, he is always out there to help. He loves modders. He did that tweet just recently where he was saying that the guy should get that Confluence access or whatever the fuck that means. Bloody boomer that I am. I think if you were to reach out and ask him for advice, he would probably be more than happy to give you some advice on maybe someone to contact, because you're kind of caught in this amazing model, and you need some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Some sort of guarantee from Bohemia that your business model can work. Because this isn't so much yes, it is a passion project for you, but it's also a passion project that's going to cost you a lot of money. If you're setting up servers across the world for people to play this, multiple servers in some locations, if it gets popular, then you need to have some sort of guarantee of that you could get a flow of income coming in to fund that. And setting up a Patreon or relying on kind donations isn't enough. You need to have some sort of way of, guaranteeing, and, there'll probably be artwork commissions getting done as well, which costs money. And, how old are you?
22.
22. So you're still very young when it comes to, the ways of the world and all the rest of that sort of shit. So I really think you need to get some legal advice to be able to go to them with either, I don't know, a business proposal or something with the model of what you've got, because I think it sounds fucking amazing, mate. And I understand your frustration in not knowing whether you can monetize to the extent that you're going to need to make this viable. And I do hope that Bohemia would support it, because they've shown they're supportive of modding in the past, like with DayZ. They bought DayZ because it worked, and who knows, maybe in 4 years from now, we could be seeing Kegan fucking being the next Dean Hall, setting up Kegan Works in bloody downtown, wherever you live. But yeah, that's kind of worries me a little bit what Mark just wrote in there. The higher up the BI seems stubborn at times, but that's why I suggest, have you ever reached out to Brian Hicks before?
No, I haven't.
I would. I can even send him a message. I do have DMs with him, but I might just send him a link to this one and tell him if he could watch it and maybe reach out to you and give you some advice. I know it might be a bit of a conflict of interest for him, but he might be able to point you in the direction of someone you can talk to get some better advice. You might need to send the right sort of paperwork through all this. Ben, you run your own business, don't you?
Well, no, BWAF's not a business, mate. But
no, your own business outside.
I do things, yeah. But I had a brief chat with Kegan. I had a brief chat with Kegan last night about this. First of all, I've had dealings with the BI monetization team. They're very legal and they're like bots. First of all, I'm pulling emails up on my screen, try to listen and read at the same time. But I had some trouble getting monetization approval with them, and I found the first few replies I got from them were like bots, and the team's way out of touch with the community and what's going on. Like, they're just employed to just look at legal things and just see whatever way they can apply their legal plans to you. And it doesn't work anymore. The monetization rules and all that, they don't fit DayZ these days. They've already altered them once, I think, and they could do with changing again.
Well, they're due to change beginning of next year.
Are they right? Well, good, because they're so out of touch with what's going on. I would agree in that getting somebody. I would possibly speak to Adam or somebody who is in touch with the DayZ community and modding and what Kegan's trying to do. Somebody like Adam would definitely be able to put the message across better. I think sometimes with the whole thing alone, there's a language barrier when you're speaking to people via emails, and it can be difficult. I'm looking at an email here. I'll go through it after the podcast to try and give any useful information that I can. But I know I was really having to clarify exactly what I was doing with the gear and how it wasn't going to give any benefits over somebody who wasn't paying anything. And it took me a while before I eventually got what seemed like a human reply. And within the next reply to that was, "You've been approved." So I think there is some battling to be done there. Definitely get some help if you can. Speak to somebody like Sumrak, or maybe one of the other devs. Even somebody like who's running the Twitter who moved on. You know who I'm talking about.
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. Jacob, yeah. Somebody like that who's just a bit more in touch with what's going on with the community and modding and what's current now, because the monetization team is just bots and they're not up to date with what's going on in the community, really. In terms of what Keegan's doing with the BR thing, if he's got a set pattern for how every server is going to be, it shouldn't matter whether he's got 1 or 10. If it's just a replication each time, what does it matter? They could just blanket approve an whole IP range for him or something or anything, and every time a server gets spun up, they just automatically agree to monetize it. I don't see if this model doesn't change between server and all that's different is an IP address. Why not just approve the whole thing as a as a platform or whatever the word is, rather than having to say, yeah, each server will have to approve it? That's stupid. If you've approved the model, then why have to do it, several times over? Seems stupid.
Yeah, if they could help me with that alone, and I still had to follow some more strict guidelines with cosmetics, I mean, that's enough for me. I can make do with only doing flashy skins, bright reds, bright blues, bright yellows, but
yeah,
it's really just having to reapprove every new server. That's going to be what holds BR back.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work at all, would it?
Yeah.
Like you say, you want to spin up servers on the fly to keep up with demand.
Mm-hmm.
You can't wait for a 3-week approval process.
And look, definitely ask around other people if they've got ideas on how to monetize it. Like for me, straight away, one of the things I think of is, like I mentioned before, you might have Ben approach you and say, "Look, mate, I'd like to get blue waffle skins in the game." Someone can find themselves a blue waffle jacket, and you can work out a financial arrangement.
Hey, I'm hearing about you haven't mentioned EU servers yet, and I'm thinking I might like to be involved in helping there,
Yeah, but look, think outside the square with other ways to monetize it as well. Maybe there's some content creators who would love to have, you mentioned you're going to have airdrops and stuff like that. Get in there and, there might be a backpack with Toprex logo on it or something like that. I don't fucking know. Work out some sort of, the sky's the limit.
There's one option I'm thinking of straight away. Your ability to do your own custom private server. Remember, like they had on PUBG.
Yeah.
Streaming. Yeah. Do something like that. You know what I mean? People would be well up for it. Like they want to host their own DayZ server, host their own BR server.
Yeah, that private servers is one of the things that I'm going to have working before we launch public. It's very important to me that if somebody doesn't like the restrictions that I'm putting on the official servers or doesn't like kind of the balancing that I'm doing, that they're able to spin up their own servers and for their own communities and do something unique. But on top of that, back on like community and Twitch and all that, I want to do Twitch integrations as well. So I already have a few streamers merch in the game from the pre-alpha that we had done. That was like 2 years ago. The issue is I have to go and contact each of them, have them approve that I can have their content in the game, right? But I'd love to work with content creators and platforms to get custom, skins. I'd eventually want to do some form of like advertisements in game. Nothing that's annoying, but when you press escape in the top right where it has the hints, maybe something there, maybe something at the main menu.
Do it, mate. Do it. At the end of the day, we're a corporate world, mate. We're a capitalist world. A few ads placed here and there tastefully aren't going to bother anyone. But if you are going to add streamer things in, can you please add in what the fuck is Uncle Ray Ray's anal prolapser thing he called again?
The Prolapser 5000.
Please add that in as a melee weapon.
You'll have to show me what that is.
And also,
oh boy,
can we please get a Don Sibley beard that you can don in the game?
Oh, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, and then you can go up and shave it off, and then you don't know who it is anymore.
when you kill the person, your finishing move is shaving off the beard.
That's the pay to win. You can in game. There's an extremely rare bit of loot, just a pair of hair clippers, so you can shave it off and then hide somewhere else, and they think you're a teammate.
Oh, I found a tier 4 Don Sibley beard.
Adds plus 50 sex appeal and plus 50 armor.
But yeah, definitely, mate. I don't know what your parents do for a living or if you know anyone else out there, but definitely get yourself some advice. Don't go fumbling around just by yourself doing this. This sounds like it's going to be a pretty complicated model. So it's in your best interest. The same as I tell streamers and stuff out there. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, the Devin Nash video about contracts and all the rest of it. Make sure you get advice from someone you trust, whether that be someone you have to pay a few quid to get them to look over paperwork, or come up with paperwork that you can send through to Bohemia Interactive, spelling it out so you don't get fucked in the ass later.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think with the right combined with speaking to somebody like on the dev team, possibly having the model completely spelled out as clear and simple as possible could get them to change their monetization policy. Because when you think about what you're trying to do, it's completely impossible under their current terms. It just doesn't work. So
yeah.
Whereas if you could get a proper legal document done up, spelling it out like Ben's saying, and sent through to them in the legal mumbo jumbo that they want to fucking talk to you in, that they talk to Ben in, with their bot bloody responses and stuff like that, that could make all the difference for you. For you, it feels like you're bashing your head against a brick wall. For someone with the right skill set and knows how to talk to these sort of people, they'd be able to, that's easy to do, mate.
Bohemia should be pretty aware now of what happens if they lose a BR type mode and it goes off on its own. So they might want to keep hold of this one, maybe.
Yes,
an idea.
And this again is why I'm saying to you, it is highly worth it. I know it's probably a big thing right now, but it's highly worth getting legal advice so you don't get ass fucked by a big company that you get looked after. I don't know what the deal was they did with Dean Hall or the deal they did with Brian Hicks for Survivor Games is, but I can probably guarantee you 110% that both Dean Hall and Brian Hicks had legal representation or people looking over any contracts that were going backwards and forwards before signing on the dotted line. And if protect yourself, doesn't hurt others, just helps. Did we help you at all?
Yeah, I think I have quite a few ideas now of where to go from here.
And put it out there.
Kind of lost.
I think by the end of the podcast, you'll have a little army of help behind you. To be honest,
fucking oath, you will, mate. You've got an amazing model, and we've said time and time again on this show, there is nothing wrong with people making a few dollars, or a lot of fucking dollars. I don't care. As I said, it's a capitalist world. If you've got a product that people want, and even if the Bohemia looks at it and goes, fuck yeah, that's bloody awesome, we might work something out with you. That's great for you, mate, and I wish you all the best with it. But yeah, get yourself some proper advice before you stumble into something that might become bigger than you're ready for. Because it's got potential. It does have potential. Like Ben said, the Bohemians let something walk away from them in the past. Many a company has let something walk away from them in the past. I want that on a t-shirt. Don't get fucked in the ass. Get professional help, Boydie 2020. The audio clips. Daone's just sitting here. He threatened me with taking some audio bites because of that Mark is a cuck comment I put on my video with him, and he said he's going to be getting sound bites of me and doing something with them. Yeah. Oh, God. But no, mate, I'm really excited for it. I'll be having a try of it next week as well. I'll be registering for the beta myself and jumping on and doing what little I can with my limited exposure to help promote your Battle Royale thing, mate. I think it's fucking awesome. I'm a hardcore fan myself, but I still love these sorts of PUBG was a big letdown for me. I really enjoyed it, but it's just gone to shit with bots and all the rest of it. I'm looking forward to being able to play it in DayZ, a game I know the controls for, even if I do have fat fingers and mash them. But yeah.
Yeah, everybody's been having a lot of fun. Even I have fun on it. I'm as much a player as everyone else, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Awesome. Okay, what else have we got on the show this week? Let me just scroll up and find the... Where the... I moved it. There it is, weekly show agenda.
Yeah, it took me about 5 minutes to find it earlier on my phone as well. I got really confused. Mind you,
Twitch,
that doesn't really take a lot.
the Twitch DayZ stats. Here we go.
Looking at these yesterday.
Massive spike these last few days. It has just been insane. Let me...
Fucking hell, that is a spike, isn't it?
I hope you can all see it because I'm having a boomer moment and forgetting how to share my screen and that, and managing the stream. And 1 second, come back here. Share your screen. And there we go. So yeah, some massive spikes there. Peak 106,000 viewers, 50,000 viewers, 60, almost 70, and just, yeah. The Shroud Summit XQC effect has been massive for the game.
Can only imagine that's going to be like bring more players as well. Don't know how often the Steam charts are updated, but I would have thought there's going to be a few people that are going to have watched those guys and sort of think, well, if they're, if they want to play it, then it must be a game worth playing. Therefore, I should get it so I can be like Shroud or Summit or whatever else. So I would have thought some more, especially once you get like a free weekend or a sale. I reckon the actual game itself will sell out a little bit quicker.
I know I've come across one player already that's bought the game solely based off of Shroud playing it recently.
Yeah. I had someone put a comment somewhere, was it, I think Dudo Rage on Twitter, said he ran into someone who bought it because either Summit or Shroud was playing it, and he spent the day running around with this guy and just had an absolute blast. Yeah.
I saw that,
it's happening everywhere. I retweeted it saying, try to give these people the best experience. It doesn't have to be a positive experience, but something they'll remember. Something that lets them know that DayZ is like no other game you've ever played before.
Yeah,
just imagine what viewer numbers will be like with a Battle Royale mod.
Well, the good thing about, I was talking about this last night, so like with regards to Shroud, and this is all just presuming, obviously, I don't know the guy like a Bezzy mate or anything, but now that he's gone through the whole payout from Mixer thing, and he's gone back to Twitch. He's, I suppose, unlike before now, he's no longer pressured to play any particular game. He doesn't have to play what is the most popular game on Twitch or whatever else. Shroud was an old school DayZ player. He played it a long time ago.
Well, I heard he said on his stream that the very first game he ever played on Twitch was DayZ. His very first stream on Twitch was DayZ.
There was a guy he met on DayZ who ended up becoming one of his best mates, Just 9. He met him on DayZ and he ended up living with him. So yeah, I mean, the fact that he's now come away from the contract thing, he's obviously, he's not short of a few bob now. So he's not pressured to take a contract with anyone, and he can just play whatever the hell he wants that he enjoys. And what's he come back to? DayZ.
Yeah.
And then straight away you've got people like Summit have jumped back on, and you've seen what the response from Summit is, and there's clips going up all the time, and all I see now, and it's funny that Kegan's doing his BR, is I can see the growth of them. They'll continue playing it. Loads of new players are going to come into it. They're then going to start playing modded stuff. Kegan's BR is going to be there, and then there's going to be a pressure for Shroud to jump in BR. That it's all going to spiral. I think it's looking good.
It's huge.
I find it kind of funny as well how, like, with Shroud having that whole Mixer deal, it's like everyone kind of says, "Oh, I want to be the next Shroud." A lot of people get into streaming because they want to be at that, at that level to a degree, and yet somehow he's managed to get to that level, make literally tens of millions of dollars.
Fuck you,
and
money.
now, and like Ben just said, he's now back down to that playing whatever he wants. He's back down. He's essentially back down to our level, but with a bank balance we'll never have. He's now back at that. Like when you first start streaming, everyone's like, "Oh, just do it. Don't do it as a job. Do it because you're passionate about it. Do it because it's
play what you want to play. Exactly.
Play what you want to play, and the viewers will come. Not play what you think is popular and will get you viewers." We're all still sat there doing exactly that. He's been there, done that, and come back around, and he's now sat with us again. Only he's got a much nicer car than I have.
I don't know. Maybe Kegan will one day have Shroud money when he sells his Battle Royale mod.
Yeah, I guess we can hope.
Just don't forget who made you famous. The DayZ podcast.
Yeah, DayZ podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yep.
mine's a double whiskey at the bar, mate.
It all takes off from here now. Just
I'm going to skip a point. I think it was a little bit later that I had it, but it's in relation to what we were just talking about. Oh, no, wrong one. Scroll too far. Boomer in charge. Summit 1G posted. Let me just share the screen again.
It was quite a positive thing he posted as well, wasn't it? If I remember
But
rightly.
I need someone to explain to this old boomer.
I'm with you on this as well. I don't know what it means either.
What the fuck is an S tier game? Is it
Please
like?
chat.
Is it? It's a what?
Okay, so have you ever seen any YouTube videos by Tier Zoo?
Never heard of him.
Okay. What he does is he ranks animals from their worst to the best, essentially, as how well they function. It's kind of a meme channel in a sense. But the idea is S being super. It's the best of that tier, of that group. So DayZ being an S tier game means it's finally among one of the best games. That's kind of what he means by it.
Yeah, it's kind of like God tier. It's that above that A level of good shit. Basically.
Is this like that thing where people rate pizzas and they have all the different charts and the different categories, and S was the top
You
tier?
just put fucking top tier then.
Yeah, thank you, Ben.
Make it easy for us all to understand, man.
S stands for superb, super, superior, special, or sugoi.
It could have stood for shit as well, though, and people
Yes.
could take it that way.
Yes. Well, at least I now know, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one who had no fucking clue what an S tier game. I was like, is what it's a game worthy of Summit? Is the S for Summit? It's a Summit worthy game. I don't know what the fuck's he talking about. But grades, shirt tier game. So yeah, now I know. Thank you for explaining that, Kegan. The Molsk update from Sumrak. Anyone read it?
I imagine we'll have that covered a little bit next week as well. But I was quite surprised when I read that, though, to see that he was said that it's still planned for this year, for a release this year. Considering we're in September now, you know, and the things that he sort of referenced in what we're about to read as well, to say that he wants to see differences before he can bring the Molsk out. I'm always a little bit of a naysayer to a degree. I'm always a bit of a negative Nancy with it, but you know, with everything, it's I want it to come out this year. I just don't see it happening, but I've got my fingers crossed that it does. If anyone can deliver, it's going to be Adam.
Oh shit, yeah.
I think if he puts a date on something, especially with him knowing what it's like when DayZ put a date on something, I think if he puts a date on something or says it's going to be this year, it's going to be this year. I think it will be.
I've got to give you.
To see the. Go on, sorry, mate.
No, you carry on.
I was just going to say there was a few bits I was surprised in there. I didn't realize he's going to do like 2 versions of it. So
that's what I was just about to say. Yeah.
Go ahead, mate. Go on. Yeah, that was crazy.
I think it's a smart move by him though, because that's going to allow someone like you, Ben, to easily adapt it to the model that works for you and your community, and then for the autistic people like myself who just want to punish ourselves, there's going to be a mode ready to go for us.
Oh no, mate. I want the Molsk version, the proper version,
good,
full on. My lot can freeze to death. I don't care. But yeah, it was definitely, as soon as I read that, I thought, yeah, boom, there's a lot of servers that wouldn't adapt that, all the hardcore stuff from the mouse, but will want the map. So them two versions, like you say, I could just plonk my server straight onto that and it'd work.
I did like this bit here as well. Damage state can greatly increase wetness absorbency rate and lower heat isolation. And so the values were tweaked in a way that worn states remain 90% effective. Damage remains 75 and badly damaged 50%. Ruined state will continue to give 0 bonuses and you just find a replacement for that. I just love that. That's just going to be, a lot of people don't really even bother about repairing their clothes. Me, I'm kind of fastidious about it.
Yeah, I am.
Oh yeah, that looks smart.
See, I'm like that. Anytime any of my gear becomes damaged, I immediately, all I can think about is repairing it as best I can. But ironically, mine's just for the fact that I don't like things being out of place. So it's not because I think they're going to give me some extra value in game that means something. It's just me being a finicky twat, if anything.
Yeah, I just like to look good when I die.
Yeah,
that's what goes through my head. It's basically like your mother always telling you put clean underwear on. So if you get hit by an ambulance, they don't see your dirty underwear, sort of thing. Well, if I'm going to be dead, I want to at least look good as when I'm dead.
Oh, he was smart. Yeah.
He might not have a head on his shoulders, but at least his undies ain't got skids.
Well, they never tell you though that when you die, you shit yourself. So fucking, it's regardless of whether your underwear's fucking clean or not. What else have we got? The Running Man. This was wow, what a week. What a week. This is a very, very delicate topic for us to discuss. We had the whole debacle with two streamers going at each other on Twitter, and then Minder's little gaff on his stream, and it just, when I saw this tweet from the Running Man, I'd actually that same day typed something up myself and just said, no, don't, it's not fucking worth it. But it pretty much just summed up exactly how I felt. A lot of people, just...
The thing it reminds me of, and you'll like this, Boydie, is Devin Nash, because he did a video. I don't know if it's the one that we covered on the podcast a few weeks back, but it's talking about advertisers and getting money into specific games, sponsorships, things like that. And he was saying that if you're a company, you're looking to pump money into streamers, into a specific game, whether it be on Twitch, YouTube, whatever else, of course you're going to do your due diligence and you're going to you're going to look on YouTube, on Twitch, you're going to look through streamers' Twitters, and you're going to decide, using what information you find there, do I want to sponsor this streamer? Do I want to have anything to do with this game? And when you do that as a company, if you log in, you look at someone's page and you go, fuck me, look at this Minder's mouthing off. Oh, look at this person over here is doing something. Oh, there's drama over here in the DayZ community again. You're immediately going to go, well, why the fuck am I going to be giving any of these people any money, when all of a sudden the people that already follow us are going to look at us giving these people money and go, why are you giving these people money? All they do is bitch and moan. So you've got all these guys starting drama. You've got the whole problem with Lottie and Minder and all that going on, just at the same time as we have Summit and Shroud and XQC coming on and saying positive things and bringing more eyes on the community as a whole. And at the moment, it seems like there are so many people that are supposed to be representing this still relatively small community, but are not representing it, in a positive way. And it still seems to be that same core group of names that come up every time. When we started off with the Milo problems, when it was you on Twitter, Boydie, and when I started up the whole joke about the having a day since last incident and things, it does seem to be that same list of names coming up every time there's drama. And you think there's no way our community, and when I say our community, I mean as the DayZ community as a whole, there's no way we can thrive when that shit is going on so frequently.
Now,
DayZ community is a small one, so it's really easy to
Exactly.
notice the shit in it. As soon as
Yeah.
something happens, you find out about it. So yeah, I mean, I especially with how on the up everything is, I don't know at the moment why people are taking the time out of their lives to just be negative on other people's stuff all the time. You do
Yeah.
your own thing, leave them to it. Everybody's happy. Simple.
I did have one disagreement with the running man on something I said, though, because I posted from the official podcast Twitter account, and I said one of the things that needs to happen here is some of the content creators need to take control of their communities. And when I say their communities, their fan base, in particular the rabid fans. He disagreed. He didn't think that that's a streamer's responsibility. I don't agree with that. I think you can't control people. You can't stop people from doing something, but you can call them out on doing it. And
yeah, you can do your best to manage it. Yeah,
there were examples, and I hate to mention it, but we're an honest show here. Some of ArchieStormcloud, who he's part of the team behind the show, but some of his community members posted some very offensive things about Lottie, and he needed to publicly say that's not acceptable. I get edgy humor. Like we had some guy in here before fucking sending me sexually suggestive messages, and I just laughed at it. I know he was just trying to be edgy. He was just trying to get a laugh. But coming back to what you said, Brim, about this reflects on us, the community. And when sponsors are looking, they're looking to see what's this community about? What's this community like? Is this a toxic community? Is this... And yeah, it's fucking just, people have got to take a chill pill, calm down, and try to remember that at the end of the day, especially if you're doing this to try to make a living, you need to be professional. And yes, Jack the Fast is bang on the money. That they were both done the same type of drama before in other circumstances. They'll keep doing it again. They will, unless people pile on them. People have got to let people know when they have stepped out of line. Like I had a chat to both Lottie and Archie about their little tete-a-tete. And sadly, it doesn't seem like they're ever going to try to sort it out between each other, which is very disappointing. Very disappointing.
But at the same time, it's they can just agree to disagree.
Yes.
You go over there, do your thing, Lottie. Archie, you go over there, do your thing. You don't have to be anywhere near each other. It's the same. It's almost like being a fucking teacher at school again. You got two kids in the classroom who don't like each other, and you say, right, you fuck off over there and do your maths work. You fuck over there and do your algebra. Don't bother each other. You got your own shit going on.
And tell the people, your closest fans, your fanboys, your fangirls, whatever, to fucking leave it. Leave it alone. Yeah. Just let it fucking go. Move on and let him do him. Let her do her. Let whatever do whatever. Just fucking grow up and, yeah. And when I messaged the both, I said, look, this is a bit rich coming from me, Mr. fucking Drama himself, but learn from my mistakes. I've made mistakes in the past. Many a fucking time. I'm 47, acting like I'm fucking 7.
Stir in the pot, boy. Stir in the pot.
But yeah,
gonna buy you a new wooden spoon for Christmas just so you can get that fresh stir on, mate.
But yeah, I just hope we can get past it. And like Paul said, bit of DayZ, just everyone doing what they want to do. Just do your thing. Don't get caught up in what others are doing. And going back to one of the first people we mentioned, Reminder, he didn't need to comment on Lottie. I know people think that she stream sniped Summit, but I don't know. I've heard people say that she was on that server for ages, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of streamers who are honestly playing on. We don't say that server name.
Get me started on this subject. Go on.
But there's a lot of streamers who are going on there purely in the hopes of meeting Shroud and fucking Summit.
All the fucking streamers are going on there knowing that there's other streamers on there. And then when somebody complains that one streamer's bumped into another one, it's like, the fuck, you're all going on there because other streamers are on there.
And do you know what the best part is? I have a suspicion that I know what the server is, but I don't actually know for 100% certainty. I'm
Good
sitting here
server.
like,
Great
like-
server. Like,
yeah, I'm sitting there
Yeah.
going, I've got in my head, I think I know what one it is. I've probably played on it, but I don't know for certain. And I'm just trying to stay as far back from it as I can. And this 2-week vacation could not have come at a better fucking time.
It is funny though, just watching everyone clamoring over themselves to get onto that server to play, and it's kind of I'm kind of glad I've got my own server. I tried it, I had a lot of fun on it. It's a great fucking idea.
good server.
Yeah, very professionally run and fucking just But I've got my own little thing now, and I'm just enjoying that. And good luck to everyone. But I just feel that what my worry is that the reason the server was created is kind of, I feel, maybe being a bit ruined by the sheer volume of streamers just inundating this fucking server.
Eventually, the streamers are all usually streamers looking for content, which is interaction in it. Now, eventually, it's going to be that flooded with streamers that are all looking for normal people to have interaction with, and all they're getting is other streamers who are all pretending not to be a streamer, like RPing and somebody, random.
Remember when DayZ released? I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a streamer-only server, and you can remember it, can you, Kegan?
Yeah, very briefly though.
And what a fucking circle jerk that server was. Just watching all these streamers just bump into each other, and all I wanted was to see one of them just say, "I don't give a fuck." 0.63 experimental. There we go. Daone's just said it. Yeah, and it was an absolute shit show. They got bloody panned for it because they released it to streamers only. And it was all these streamers running up to each other and, "Oh, I'm such and such and I'm such and such." And all I wanted was for one of them to go, "I don't give a fuck who you are," and just blow their fucking heads off. Yeah. But no one did it. It was the saddest fucking thing I've ever seen in the history of DayZ. It was, oh my God, it was horrible. They were all just running around and networking and just, oh.
You need the freaky random normal people in a server to act like the crazy Russian guy or the random person growing fucking pumpkins in the middle of nowhere or killing and eating people. You need all that weird shit. If you just got all streamers looking like, it'll just become a big old hands situation where there's nothing else going on. But I'm a streamer, so am I.
Yeah,
and this is coming from me, Mr. Pacifist.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that worries me as well, because it's happening on on a server that we can all agree that, regardless of this situation, is a fantastic server. It means then that we are eventually going to hit that point where it's just going to be all streamers looking for content. There's going to be none there. Suddenly it's going to dry up. That server's pop is going to fucking drop into the ground. And theoretically, and I hope this doesn't happen, we're going to get a situation where suddenly that server isn't popular anymore, which means that server suddenly disappears, and we will have lost a great thing, all because a handful of people decided they wanted to all jump on and ruin it for everyone else, essentially.
And DayZ Daily Press has just said something there as well. "I held a streamer-only session for Mixer DayZ community, and it only lasted 15 minutes. Everyone died killing each other." That's the other thing. This server is attracting a lot of bad eggs. People who want to get on there just to do the stream sniping and shit like that. I see you nodding your head, Kegan.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of, because when Shroud first started playing DayZ, the first thing I thought of was you're going to have, every server he hops on is going to have stream snipers 24/7.
Yeah.
And he's going to do everything he can to hide what server he's on. But all it takes is him playing with one other streamer, and that one other streamer making a mistake for them to figure it out.
Yep.
And you can go all the way back to the early releases of DayZ, and you can see the same thing was happening with all the streamers back then. With all these streamers on the same server, it's only compounding that, because you can hop on one server and stream snipe 3 different streamers.
Yeah.
And as a stream sniper, that's what's entertaining you. So
I mean, Look at XQC. He's got a whole community of people that live to stream snipe him and ruin his stream. Like he went, I don't know what server he was on, but it took like 10 minutes before he
Trump's
had all
Wall.
people blasting fucking loud Russian music and everything at him as he was running around, you know. Yeah, I feel bad for I do genuinely feel bad for any server streamers like that. Come on, I've been through it with Lyric. He's the nicest bloke ever, but even with him, he has like 20-30k views. You only need a little percentage of people of that, and that's half a DayZ server full of toxic people that are just there to fucking stream up, you know.
If not DDoS you as well.
Well, you get that as well, yeah. That's the other thing you see. Like, so for example, the big streamers like Shroud and everything up to now, they've been playing on servers like PUBG and all that, a lot better protection. Come on to DayZ, lot easier to take it down. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
It will be. It's going to be, look, like we were saying before, though, it's great these big name guys are coming on and playing DayZ. And in particular, you know, with Shroud and Summit playing DayZ the way that, you know, it's not just running around and killing everything that fucking moves. That's fun. You know, you're building a whole bloody mod for it based on running around and killing everything that moves. But yeah, it's great seeing them just enjoying DayZ for what it is and speaking positively about it as well. But it is going to bring problems, like you said, Ben, to those who they choose to grace with their presence.
Yeah, that's going to be.
And it's got to be a fucking frustrating thing being stream sniped as much as those guys get stream sniped with a game as time intensive and devotion intensive as DayZ. You can spend hours running around to finally get your setup just right, and then some fucker can come along and ruin it all for you. Just because
I found with some of the bigger streamers anyway, they like to play a lot of DayZ offline, off stream.
Yeah.
So that they can play way different to how they do on stream.
Surely they have.
Yeah, they can't imagine Shroud building a base on a server. The fuck? That'll have like 20,000 people trying to raid it all day. You can't do it, you know. So like for those things like that, he's gonna have to bounce around and play offline and things, you know. Same for a lot of people, not just him. I keep bringing his name up, but one thing I did like was did you see the Summit clip where he's fucking walking with a guy and he was talking in a funny voice like this, and then his fucking mum comes in like, "The fuck are you doing?"
No, I haven't seen that voice
on, so they don't know it's me.
Yeah. I think at some point near enough, all of us have been through that shit. Like RPing or doing something weird on DayZ, and somebody pokes their head in like, "The fuck was that?"
Mate, I went out before and got told I don't need to yell into the microphone just because I was getting quite animated in the game, and that it was like, I'm sorry. You know, misses the young fella out there watching their stories on the TV, and I'm in here yelling and fucking carrying on about deer not fucking dying when I head shoot them.
Die, bitch, die!
The wife's grabbing the car keys and the kid's like, fuck me, this guy's cracked, I'm out.
That guy Seals just said, I think the best clip Summit has was when he found the letter that Shroud has a big cock. I like the other one who was it Shroud or was it Summit? Has a chopper. Oh, hail it. And then you just see the zoom in, and it's Summit. It was Summit. I think he just landed and he crashed the chopper. Oh God.
That was Boydie flying that one. You can tell because it crashed.
Okay. Next topic on the agenda. Inclement Dab. What was this one again? The DayZ editor weather controller. This was fucking astounding. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
I did have a quick
the stream when he's been doing it, so.
Yeah, I haven't really been following his
All right, but it works. Fog?
mod, but I know it's something that DayZ badly needs since when I did Arma 3 modding, the editor
we should be able to set the view distance
my
properly.
home for the majority of it. So it seems like it's going along really well.
It just looks so intuitive, doesn't it?
Santa Jesus' Christmas present all birthday present, everything rolled into one.
Any way you can control the weather easier, I'm down for, definitely. I love fucking with the weather.
I just see everyone just turning rain on when Tope
I think-
jumps on the server.
The editor, mate, is going to start serving multiple purposes, I think. With all the things he's starting to put into it, it's not just going to be a map editor. I can see people using it to do cinematic stuff and all sorts of different things.
Yeah, that's the same thing they use the Arma 3 editor for. Cinematics, not just mission making.
It's pretty much what I use the admin tools for on occasion. I've made a couple
yeah.
of little like a video intro where I literally just went into free cam, just flying up over some really nice picturesque areas. It's just that simple drone view, add a nice bit of music behind it. It's piss easy. A fucking corpse could do it. You know, it's amazing what you can do nowadays.
Yeah, what I'd be excited to see him do is some sort of keyframe animations for the camera, because Arma 3 has that, but DayZ doesn't. So if he manages to do that, everybody's going to use it for every cinematic they do.
What do you mean by
And I can't
keyframe animations?
So the idea is you're able to point the camera at specific points and save that and build a timeline where it'll transition smoothly from point to point. If he's able to, if he's able to pull that off, I mean, you can just go and say, okay, I want the camera here, and then I want it to pan to here and turn kind of this way.
Okay, yep.
And then there's just a smooth transition between the two.
Kind of like pre-programming it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was a Call of Duty version that set up something in that once. I think it was Call of Duty, where you could set up all the different camera points and everything, and then you'd kick it off, and it would move the camera around and everything, so that you could, you'd keyframe all the different points where the camera would be, and then it'd play it and record it, so it looked like one smooth cinematic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think the ones made the good point there. Scripted content all over. As soon as I saw that, that's the first thing I was thinking. I was like, "Oh, mate, you could have people making some great scripted content with that."
Oh God,
I might actually have a fucking chance of making a half decent video. Shan't hold me breath though. Let's be fair, it's me.
Yeah, we've got a tweet from Adam here. Ah, yes. So, one of the things I've been quite vocal about was wanting some reworks of animals, in particular the boars. And any plans for this, mate? Even rams and billy goats would be more aggressive, I reckon. I killed 5 goats today. They all ran a few meters from me, and then I was able to kill them all with a shovel. And he said it's actually something on their backlog, for sure, also for wild boars. One thing to note here is that it's much more complicated to kill these animals using melee in offline than it is in online due to AI reactions slowed down by the server load, unfortunately. So some work happening there to make critters a little bit more difficult to kill.
I like the idea of that. I like the idea of making the animals that little bit more annoying. So at the moment, I think there's only really 2 animals in DayZ that I ever have much of an issue with. One is obviously bears, because they are fucking monstrous, and the other is the deer and the bucks, because the second you get anywhere near them, they just fucking leg it, and you've got no chance of catching them. Unless you've got a rifle, you ain't catching them. Everything else is pretty much just run up and give it a little love tap and it'll go. So
even the wolves need a massive buff, in my opinion. They're just not.
I miss the was it the boars as well that just used to charge you and knock you out? The boars, I'm sure the boars used to do that.
I've heard someone say that as well, but
so.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, I'm positive I remember getting knocked out by a boar. Somebody in chat.
I think I've got some small recollection of a boar coming up and giving me the old Glaswegian kiss on occasion.
Yeah, I missed that. That was decent.
And yeah, DayZ Daily Press saying they're whatever to the animals bleeding out as well. They don't seem to bleed out anymore. So Dumpy saying he remembers that too with the boars.
Okay, it's not just
they come towards you, the boars. They must have hit you previously, yeah. Just that would be a big plus for me. Something else that's a little bit of a threat in the game, other than just players and the bears. The wolves are, unless you get very unlucky, the wolves are not a threat. They really need a massive rework to become a genuine threat. The packs need to be bigger, and they need to coordinated attack you to make them the way the wolves are. One distracts while the other one comes up and nips your Achilles tendon and stuff like that, and just fucks you over.
I think if you're gonna get bit by an animal in DayZ, it's be a small percentage chance that if you survive it, you get sick from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Broken bones as well when that eventually comes in, whether that's as part of vanilla or a mod. Let's be honest, if a wolf's going to come up and grab your ankle and give it a shake, you're not just going to walk away from that. You're going to be hobbling a bit. Add that in a bit.
Infected wounds, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
See, the mistake I find a lot of people make with wolves, just seen Stu say I've been killed by huge wolf packs in the open, you can be screwed, is shooting them, unless you're a really good shot, is a waste of time. It's one of the reasons I always carry a splitting axe with me. A splitting axe just fucking destroys them. And you learn the way they react. The minute you raise your axe, they run. You've got to basically keep your axe at the ready and only bring it up and swing very quickly. Otherwise, the wolves will run and make it harder for you. So, the servers I play on being more hardcore, I hear wolves, I run towards them because all I think is that's dinner. There's food.
I saw a stream of yours the other day, and I can't remember which day it was, but you took on a wolf and with an axe, and I was like, oh shit, it is that easy to do a wolf then? Like, I didn't realise.
Well, 1 to 2 hits, mate. 1 to 2 hits with an axe. I never use my gun unless it's a really awkward situation, like I'm already a bit damaged, because their bites do hit you hard, but they're just too easy to kill with something like a splitting axe, even a shovel, any decent melee weapon, a hatchet even will do the job on a pack of wolves. You've only got to kill 3 or 4 of them, and they usually run off after that now. There used to be a feature where if you shot 2 to 3 wolves, the rest of the pack would run away. Is that still in the game? There's theories on that. I've never heard it. Maybe Kegan being a modder and that, but there's always a theory of the alpha. I think you have to shoot the alpha and they run off. But yeah, is that an actual thing? Is there a wolf in the code that is identified as the alpha?
I haven't looked into it, but everyone that I've talked to about wolves has said that's the case. So,
the one saying here it is.
Yeah,
I've never seen like an alpha wolf situation, but I know that if you have like a pack of say 5 or 6 wolves and you kill like 4 of them, the others will sort of turn around about, oh fuck this, I'm not winning this. He's clearly too good. I might as well leg it, and they disappear off. So whether that's something to do with like an alpha wolf or not,
the one saying it's in the behavior templates.
It's the chances are the 4th one that you're killing is the alpha, and then that's why the rest of them are pissing off.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That might be a video for Wobo. Or Marks. Marks, you're in chat. Well. There you go, Marks. That you can do that. Link up with Daone and explain to people how the wolf packs work.
Give me a shout. You can come on my server and I'll just spawn 100 wolves on you. It's fine.
Bada boom, bada bing. We are in the wrong. Now we also had the. Yes, this is the delay of the building challenge that they're doing on DayZ. They pushed it out until the 6th of September, so you got until the end of tonight for you guys.
Wow, yeah.
End of today.
Yeah, technically tomorrow for us here in the UK.
Yeah, to get in and yes, it is. Yeah. So this weekend, basically Sunday night for pretty much everyone, to get in and finish off and polish your bases. Submission deadline is now just before midnight. All information in regards to this challenge is below. DM for further support. And this will allow you the opportunity to have your own flag in game, provided it's not a dildo or something like that.
Uncle Ray Ray will be upset. No dildo flags.
I think it's great what they've done with this.
Same.
The amount of they've encouraged testing and people to come on and test the shit out of the new base building stuff way more than any other time they've added something new and tried to get people on to test it. It's great the fact they're putting this much effort in to actually and running it for this long. It's good to see. Good to see.
Helkiana said she's tried to do the challenge 3 times, but being raided, couldn't be bothered anymore.
Oof.
Did they actually say why it is they delayed it? Because the first reply, who were you waiting for? Their reply to that was kind of like not serious, and that's my question. Why'd they delay it?
Well, the logical answer I can see is it's a weekend.
That's what I was thinking. They've probably got the people at work in the week and stuff like that.
I don't think it's so much whether they're waiting for anyone. I think it's just someone said maybe we should give them the end of the weekend to finish their base.
It seems to have been pretty popular, doesn't it? Like the amount of people, the streamers that I've seen taking part, people on Twitter, everything.
I know one Cooper's doing it, Archie's doing it.
Yeah. Compared to other stuff they've done, the popularity of it seems to be quite good, and it's a good time to try and capitalize on stuff. All that's going on at the moment, capitalize on everything. So, yeah, I think it's good. I reckon we'll get 109 this week, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should imagine.
I'm going to cry and curl up in a ball.
Wednesday.
I'm going to cry and curl up in a ball. I've got no fucking idea how to run a server.
Funny enough, neither do I. That's why I leave it to me mate John.
Okay, what else have we got? We are now onto our server spotlight. Now, I've been hogging the server spotlight, guys. Kegan, what have you got?
So the server spotlight. I don't really have much for this one. I guess you could look at the BR server if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's not really much to talk about with it. Just running the BR mod.
Yep. What server do you play on when you're not doing modding work in that?
The official expansion server.
Yep.
Base game DayZ I enjoyed, and I played that for a little bit. But once expansion came out, that's when I really got back into the game. And the first thing I did was hop on that official server. And it's a little bit more anarchy, since there isn't a whole community management team really forcing people to play a specific way. So I'm able to play however I want. If I just want to go and kill people on site, I can. I don't really do that, because I can do that in BR. But it's nice and relaxing to just be on the server. There's always a few people there that I know that I've seen there before, and just to hang out.
What about you, Ben? You can't say Blue Waffle.
I don't know, mate. I literally only play on my server.
I'll shout yours out if you shout mine out. We can get.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
That's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, but Brimstone server is one of the best that I can tell you about, to be honest. So.
And what is Brimstone server?
I blindfolded him so he couldn't see the server name, just so he didn't get stream sniped.
It's one of the good ones. One of the good ones.
To be fair, there are legitimately days where I forget the name of the server I run myself. So
I'll keep track of every fucking service.
It's impossible, isn't it? It's mad.
And Brim, what is the name of your server?
So in the DayZ standalone launcher, you'll find them under FG PvP. FG stands for Futile Gaming, and you'll find the other one as FGR PvE, which is it used to be an RP server. We've changed it to a PvE server with a sort of more of a heightened thing on and a focus on role playing interactions. And as it happens, we've recently changed a bunch of stuff as well, thanks to the help from Daone for getting his VPP admin tools back up and running on our server. So I've custom mapped a bunch of different places. If you do go on the servers, check out Mishkino tents, because they look completely different to anything you've ever seen before. So that'll be my cheeky little shout out, as well as obviously Blue Waffle this week.
And I've got to give a quick shout out to June 11944, who just rated us with a party of 60. Thank you so much, June. Yeah,
Gotta love June.
I love June, man. While the After Dark server was up and running, I got to bump into June totally organically in the northeast corner of the map. And we just had one of the best adventures I've ever had. Ended up being held up by two guys, and I totally potatoed it with a scorpion. And but it was just brilliant. It was pitch black, and we were both running around with torches, and it was just an amazing night. I absolutely love June. He's one of the nicest guys in the DayZ streaming community as well. He's always in a good mood, and he loves DayZ, and yeah.
He's a rare breed. A rare breed of man.
He is. He's a good bloke. A very, very good bloke. What else have we got? Where are we? Next topic is the mod spotlight. Well, I think the mod spotlight has to be the Battle Royale mod.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for what you're doing, mate. I am so freaking excited. It's for those who've just joined us. Our special guest tonight on the DayZ podcast is Kegan Hollern, and he's doing a DayZ Battle Royale mod. And it's been we covered this probably about 2 months ago, Kegan, the first time, and it's now about to enter into beta. If you want to post your link again, mate, if people are in chat want to register for is there a good promo video for DayZ Battle Royale? Well, that's something I think you need to get done as well, mate.
Yes, that is something I want to get done.
I'm pretty sure you'll find
Septic Falcon. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Septic Falcon. But I'm pretty sure you'll find some people who want to line up and maybe do not just an information one, but maybe like a more artistic style one. Just a video that you can put up, DayZ Battle Royale, register here, which just someone film some nice cinematics from it and wax it all together with the right dramatic music, and it might cost you a couple of £100 to get someone to make it for you, but something like that would probably go a long way to promoting your Mr. Nobody UK just registered. It's going to be great. Don Sibley, who may still be in chat, was playing it earlier this week and promoting it, and he dragged some other people in there. And have you had any other big names playing it so far, Kegan?
I don't actually keep track of how many streamers or content creators really are playing it. We just run matches. If somebody has access to beta, they get to play.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in pushing to have more content creators play than normal players.
Stu Hawk just raised a good point, mate. A promo vid might even let DayZ monetizing department understand it.
Mate,
Yeah, that's true.
Visual so much easier than reading. Nobody likes to read.
Yep.
But we've had quite a few players. We ended up getting a third of the server filled. That was like over half the players currently registered and given access to beta that were playing at one point, which was pretty insane, having that percent of people playing on one match at the same time without really planning it. So it'll be excited to do some more planned gameplay, get specific times and communities on BR and playing it over the next week and a half.
And on the other flip side of it, we go from the DayZ Battle Royale mod. There is one other mod I want to shout out yet again, the Ammomaking mod by Dumpgra. He was kind enough when I was streaming on Tuesday or Thursday, I think it was, to actually jump in, and we ran through, and I put a video up highlighting it. But it's a game changer for me. It just adds something to DayZ that for the hardcore servers and even the not so hardcore servers, you could do it on a more casual server where you just make the easy ammo, your 9mm, your 380, maybe even your 45 relatively common, and then people have to craft the more high tier military ammo. But it's an amazing setup, and I highly recommend you check it out. Mark's, I believe, Dumpgra, Mark's Dumpgra. You two need to have a chat, and he's going to make a much more condensed version instead of my 1.5 hour fucking fellatio dribble bloody video where I just said how fucking awesome it was over and over again. Whereas Marks will be able to make a better one that summarize it for the people with short attention spans. The next thing we always do, spotlight of the week. Now mine is a kind of a sad one. Dozing Chopper put a tweet out, which really hit me in the feels. He recorded a video where he won't be streaming for a bit. So if you can, I will put a link to his tweet in chat. But you know, he's got like 62 hearts and 21 comments on there. But he's just found out his dog Ted has been diagnosed with cancer and doesn't have too much longer left to live. So, you know, as a member of the DayZ community, my heart goes out to him. I lost my dog Wookie late last year to cancer as well. So I understand exactly what he's going through. And to make matters worse for even me, I lost my bird earlier this year. But yeah, he was pretty fucking heartbroken. You actually see Ted walk up to him in the video. And just, if you can, please jump on there. Give him just a heart. Just let him know you're feeling for him. Leave him a kind comment. Send him a virtual hug. Any of that sort of stuff. But, man, fucking dogs are the best people. And I know the worst part for me was it's a golden retriever as well, just like I lost with Wookie. So please spread the love with him. But, yeah, hopefully you guys have got something a bit more positive. Kegan, you're the guest. We'll go with you again, mate. Anything at all DayZ related? What impressed you this week?
What impressed me really was all the other staff and community members of BR. They've really throwing together matches and putting everything together. I might be the face, you know, on the podcast of BR, but we wouldn't have games going on hours and hours a day. We wouldn't have, you know, bugs being reported and visible if it wasn't for these guys. You know, Banana has been a wonderful help, and he isn't even a developer for BR. He just wants to play it. And Vulcan, Solid, Cortex, these guys are all really helping me out with BR, and it wouldn't be possible for us to be launching over the next week and a half without these guys spending hours a day helping me go and run this thing. So it's amazing that a lot of people are willing to help just because they enjoy something. And I'm really appreciative of all of them.
There's so many good, selfless, awesome people in this community. It's one of the things that makes this one of the best communities going. Definitely.
It is. There's like I said, there's some fucking amazing people out there. And you know, we mentioned it time and time again, like when Wobo was going through his troubles, the community rallied behind him. And for the most part, people are fucking good people, and they just want to spread love and positivity and joy amongst the rest of the community. Other than the dramas we talked about a bit earlier, for the most part, the DayZ community is a pretty fucking decent community.
Yeah.
Except for when I take Twitter.
DayZ community is what makes the game. There's loads of other games that can survive without hardcore fans. Casual players will keep it going forever. DayZ community, DayZ would be on its arse without the community.
Yeah. When it was down to its lows of 3,000 concurrent players. Yep.
Yep.
Brim, your spotlight.
Yeah, so I'll just see if I can figure out how to use this pissing laptop and pop it in the chat for you. But it's where is it? I've lost my fecking cursor.
Give off sound.
There we go. I think I fixed it. I'm the fucking boomer here today, I tell you. No, Shroud's put out a one called The Return to DayZ, and it's already at over it's been out 4 days, but it's at 300,000 views. So I think it's just more positive positive light getting shone on the game.
Holy shit. The New Mutants, rated PG-13.
What's on the menu? I don't know, dude. I might run around in DayZ or something. Sounds kind of fun.
That's insane. 350,000 views. Wow.
And on a DayZ video, generally speaking, that's it's certainly something worth mentioning.
If 1% of those people take interest in the game and buy it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
3,000 more players.
that's a fucking massive peak in one of the charts again, All it takes is 1%.
I was sitting there because I've got YouTube Premium. I was sitting there going, why am I getting an ad at the beginning of this video? Hang about. Shroud gets fucking TV shows sponsoring his videos? Holy shit, that guy's got more money than I'll ever know what to do with. Oh, insane. Ben, what about you, mate? What's your spotlight of the week?
I just want to shout out my boys on the expansion team. Just because since the last update that was put out by them, the amount of problems that I don't have in my life anymore and how much easier things are. So yeah, I just wanted to shout them boys out this week.
I actually want to raise something as well. A lot of people have been critical of the expansion as well. But one of the things I want people to be aware of that, this goes back to something we talked a few weeks back about, they wish that the expansion mod had just released everything individually. But for a lot of server owners, and Ben, I'm sure you'll back me up on this, one of the beautiful things about the expansion mod is that when it comes out, everything in it is compatible. You don't have to sit there working out what the fuck has gone wrong with my server, what mod's clashing with another one. You can add expansion mod, which has got a multitude of different things all built into this one amazing mod, from new guns to, and that's one of the big pluses for it. Helkiana's saying that's not true and then a cheeky monkey face, but yeah. So bear that in mind with the expansion mod that, when they do their updates, these guys are doing a lot of work because they've got to make sure all of those bugs of things clashing are sorted before it's dropped on the servers. So, yeah.
There's been great improvements in play to how the workflow, how future updates are going to go, stuff like that. So the little blip in the ocean, which was the previous update, there's not going to be any more of that. So people should be a lot more positive about it now.
I was not saying that the expansion mod hasn't had its bugs. There's one at the moment where I can't turn off on my server how to make the map not show you your location. And they said that's just a bug and that'll get fixed in in the next update. But yeah,
there's been loads of work done on the map markers and all that stuff. So yeah,
the markers really was a huge benefit for BR because before this last patch, their marker system wasn't really built for modding, and I explained that to them, and they immediately said, "Yeah, we're going to rework this system for you." So I spent probably 2 days getting markers working on the old system, and then we did some dev tests. My markers there were so many issues. They came out and updated it. New marker system. 2 hours later, markers have worked flawlessly since then. Since I reworked the system on my end. They've done a terrific job with markers, and they have just made my life so much easier building BR off of their mod. I can go and take all these features that server owners use, heli crashes, airdrops that expansion runs. I can just turn them off, because I don't need them. But the content's there, so I can use their content in BR for airdrops when I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing mod, and it's why I built off of it.
Yes, it's come in extremely handy for me custom mapping areas of R2 servers, because not only do I have access to the standard vanilla various different things that I can place down and make things look cool, but I've also got those same assets and features from expansion as well. so I can go in and really fuck about with what I want to place where, how I want it to look. It just gives so much more freedom as someone who's doing that custom mapping to just make things look so much cooler. It's so handy.
And I want to do one more positive shout out to our resident bad boy, Daone. I've had a few comments said about the work he's been doing behind the scenes, helping people out.
He's done bits for Wobo, hasn't he? Done some cool shit for Wobo. Yeah.
Or his mod that with the bullet physics that Wobo was able to use in his penetration testing. Wobo's just been streaming fucking non-stop, running around, shooting fucking bullets into every single thing he can. And he gave Daone a shout out. So, Daone, we salute you. He doesn't like praise either, so he's probably sitting there going, I'm going to fuck you up for that.
Daone,
fucking getting it.
He actually has some code in BR. He helped solve some of the network crashes that we were getting. So,
guys and girls, thank you so much. Kegan, it was a pleasure to have you back on again, mate. Please keep us updated. Let us know how you go. Like I said, feel free to send Brian Hicks a message, mate. If he responds to you, he responds to you. I'm certain he will. He has a soft spot in his heart for DayZ and DayZ modders especially. Having created Survivor games himself and worked on the project with Dean. So the worst he's going to say is no. Everything from there is a step in the right direction, or he might be able to point you in the right direction towards someone who can give you some advice on all that sort of stuff. Next week, fingers crossed, is going to be a big episode, guys and girls. Is going to be a very, very big episode. Sumrak has said he will come on the show. Now, he does need to wait. He's got 1.09 coming out. So it could be a week from hell for him. We all know what a DayZ patch update is like. But from what I've heard, this patch doesn't seem to be as massive as some of the ones in the past. But definitely, if you have got any questions you would like to ask Sumrak, in the podcast Discord, we've got a channel here where you can lodge your question. We've had some amazing questions. Actually, a quick shout out to Helkiana as well. I saw her in chat. She actually answered in general chat some of the questions people were posting in here. Based on when she had a run with Sumrak a while ago. So thank you so much for doing that, Helkiana. But jump in, post your questions. The Discord is right there, just popped up down the bottom there. So you can jump in and post any questions you have for Sumrak. Can't guarantee we'll ask all of them. Can't guarantee he'll answer all of them. He is bound by his employment agreement. But we're going to ask as many questions as we can as possible. Kegan, thank you, mate.
Thank you. This was fun.
It's fun having you on, mate. It's I love the vibe that we've got on the show. I've got no idea how many people we've got watching right now, but it's going well. It's going really, really well. Ben, thank you once again, my friend.
No problem, mate. Pleasure as always.
And Brim, you're on holidays, mate, but your devotion to the podcast is unparalleled, my man. Unparalleled.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. I almost did, but I make things work. I always make things work.
Once again, folks, please don't forget, we're now selling our lovely little coffee mugs, which you can purchase. I'll have more coming up online soon.
Every purchase of a mug comes with 10% off Ben's OnlyFans.
So you can wake up with the podcast mug when you're watching the video or watching the podcast live. You can have a cuppa or a rum or what did I say, heroin as well. Enjoy, folks. Thank you all so much. Everyone say goodbye.
Take it easy, everyone. Take it easy.
Ciao for now.